Nobody hustles harder than a middle-aged man who believes that he's running out of time. But my question for you is, what is it going to take for you to stop and realize that the pressure you're putting on yourself is self-imposed? You have some clock up against the wall that doesn't really exist. Where people get in trouble is they're trying to run a race where the reality is there is no finish line. If you look at it from this concept, where you are today, I'm willing to bet money. There was a point in time that you couldn't even fathom being here. I remember getting out of the Army. And I remember living with a guy who was a police officer. And I saw his paycheck. And I thought to myself, holy shit. I didn't even know, it didn't even occur to me that real people that I could meet made that much money. This is when I saw a police officer's paycheck. If you would have told me that I would be making in a business $200,000+ a month, and that there would still be things that I need to accomplish, there would still be challenges, I would have told you were crazy when I was homeless. I want you to think about this. At one point in time in my life, I was eating out of trash cans. I had my car repossessed. And now I do over $200,000 a month in the business every single solitary month. And I'm still facing challenges and roadblocks. Why? Because the new level that you get to, it's a completely new game. It's completely different. The man that makes $500,000 a month has a problem that I don't even know, that I don't even understand yet. But we spend all of this time feeling like, oh my God, if I could just get here, I would make it. But the difference is huge between the game clock and God's timing. You know, at one point in time, Vince Lombardi has a famous quote. He said, we never lost a game. We just ran out of time. And I want you to think about the power of that belief. They never lost. You didn't beat us. What if you had that mentality for yourself? What if you had the mentality that you haven't lost? I just ran out of time this round because you can't beat me. If we were playing a game where there was no parameter of time, eventually I would make you quit. What happens when you're no longer playing to a buzzer? What happens when you're playing until you win? And what happens when you change the understanding and the mindset that winning in life is just being able to play the game? In all the games that matter, you don't go into business for the grand opening. You go into business to stay in business. You don't get in shape to get in shape and get back out of shape. You get in shape to stay in shape. You don't get married to the wedding day. You get married to stay married. This is what happens when you set artificial milestones for yourself. You find yourself upset. I need to be married by 30. Why? I need to find the love of my life by 40. Why? What would you rather have? Would you rather have 10, 20, 30 years of pure hell just to say that you were married the entire time? Or would you rather have 5 years of a fucking love that burns so deep, so intense? The thing that they make movies about. Which would you rather have? Would you trade that 5 years of fucking pure passion for 20 years of a headache? I should have $100,000 saved by now. How about we should just get to the point where I should have $100,000 saved? I should have abs by this summer. So you don't get them by the summer, and so you give up on them in the winter. And a lot of times these benchmarks, they become nooses. They're not goals. You hang yourself in defeat. Maybe you were 150 pounds overweight. Abs by summer was never a reality. At the end of the day, what you got to understand is you're not losing. You're simply measuring wrong. And that false measurement, my brother, it makes you miserable. It makes you miserable. You know, I think one of the things that happens when you are looking at your kids is you want to give your kids everything. You want to give your kids more. There's things, of course, that I'd love to give my kids. But the other night, my daughter was sitting on the couch, and I don't know why she just was a chatterbug. I don't think I've ever heard her talk this much in her life. And she just was going nonstop, didn't stop. I mean, I don't even think she was like putting together coherent sentences. She was just talking. And she looks at me And I sat down there. And honestly, it's hard for me not to get emotional about it. I sat down there and I look at her. And for anybody that's a parent, I can't speak to it for sons because I have daughters, but you look at them and you're like, oh, I see the future in you. I see the woman you're going to become. You are just going to radiate. Oh my God. I look at my daughter, I think she's just the most beautiful thing ever. Both my kids. And I have all these things that I want to give her. All these experiences, all these places I want to take her. And I've always said I want to do this. There's that old joke. I want to take my kid and let them see the world so they're not impressed by your crusty ass son taking them to McDonald's. But she said to me on the couch, she said, you're the only one I can talk to like this. My heart, bro. My heart. My whole heart. She's like, you just listen to me. And I realized in that moment that I am giving her everything. And the guilt that I put on myself, the pressure that I put on myself, it's just self-inflicted for no reason. She doesn't need a mansion on the hill. She needs a daddy who listens. That doesn't excuse me from going after the goals I have and the dreams that I have. But as a reminder about what matters. And so we look at how this spreads out across your body, your being, and your balance. We look at guys that just beat themselves up because they think they should look like a guy by now. And so many guys that are out there, you're comparing yourself to men you'll never look like. For example, I will never look like The Rock. I'm not 6'5" or whatever he is. You expect the results to come faster. Well, I put in this work. You can work really hard on the wrong things. I see so many guys who are out there working out hard as shit, but then they eat like shit because they think the workout justifies it. The truth is, you're not on their plan. God has a different plan for them. You're not in their shoes. You might not be in their season. You're comparing your day one to their day 1,000,001. They've been working much longer than you. What we need to do is we need to reframe it. Did I win today? Did I keep my promise today? We talk about spiritual regret and emotional shame. So many people, when they begin their walk in faith, I experience this. I should be stronger by now. I should stop succumbing to these problems. Not realizing that you used to do this and not care, and now you care. Instead of getting mad at yourself about why am I still battling anger, lust, sadness, or apathy, ask yourself, does it matter now when it used to not matter? That is growth, my brother. Sanctification is not Amazon Prime. There is no 2-day shipping for spiritual growth. And the truth is, for you to have transformation, you must walk through the pain. So I want you to focus is, are you present with God? Are you living honestly? Do you look to repent every day? We talk about balance, measuring your fatherhood and relationship like it's a job title. Other dads, like I said, have more money for their kids. I don't care how much money you have, I promise you, you're going to wish you had more. We look at men that we think have it all together. We think they've connected with their kids, they've connected with their spouse. I can tell you, with the men that I coach, so many men who seem on the surface to have it figured out, they are battling the exact same demons that you are. What you need to do is find yourself like I did on that couch with my daughter, just letting them talk. Just letting them share their ideas, their thoughts, their emotions. Have you established yourself as a safe place for them to come and talk to? This is what we need to work for. Your focus needs to be your presence over your performance. Your kids don't give a shit about your success, not young. They want your ears, they want your eyes and your heart. My brother, they want your attention. Give it to them. When you look at your business, you have revenue envy. You have this midlife panic. You look at a guy who has a new car and a bigger house, or he talks about a 6-figure launch. Many people talk about a 6-figure launch and they had 7-figure expenses. We see the guy that has a brand new car. He didn't pay for it outright. He just got a new monthly payment. We see a guy with a bigger house. He may be house broke. We think to ourselves that I'm falling behind. I should be further. No, my brother, you were right where you're supposed to be. Gary Vee always says the market will tell you when you're ready. Your job is simply to continue to build. Ask yourself, are you building with integrity? Are you planting seeds today that are going to bear real fruit in the future? It is a dangerous belief to say that I should be further. The trap of I should be further by now, it's built on a lie that success has a deadline. And one of the things I like to share with people is I've been doing BJJ for about 20 years. I'm a brown belt. I'm not a black belt yet. And for a long time, that used to bother me. I should have had my black belt by now. Used to say that. But when I step back and I look at the entirety of not just the US, the world, black belts are like 1% of the population. And a lot of people that get their black belt aren't building and running a business. A lot of people that get their black belt doesn't have a family they're responsible for. A lot of people that get a black belt don't have multiple knee surgeries and shoulder surgeries and issues. So if I'm going to compare myself, why do I only compare myself to the top 1% of the people that have black belts? Why don't I compare myself and say, hey, listen, I'll have that black belt. I will be in 1% of the population. 1%. And when I earn my black belt, you can't take it from me. Who gives a shit if it took me 5 years, 10 years, or 20? I'm a black belt now, it's just the same. The paradox is that if you even hit the goal, you'd still feel behind. I've talked to countless people that are black belts that once they get their black belt, they say, I'm a white belt again. I started learning. You see, our nature of manhood is to explore, it's to expand, it's to create, it's to climb. When we look at everything we experience as men, it runs through 3 cycles: new, normal, numb. Everything in life runs through the cycle of new, normal, numb. So whether you hit that revenue goal, whether you marry that dream woman, whether you become the father you've wanted to become, whether you go out and you get that black belt, it will be new, then it will become normal. And if you're not careful, my brother, you will become numb to it. And the thing that you dreamed of your entire life, the life that you prayed for, will be in your hands and you will be dissatisfied. There is no there. Each new mountain will always reveal a higher peak. So please, stop judging the process just because you haven't hit a place. And instead, start taking stock of the man you're becoming. Because if you do this, I promise, you not only will get to where you're supposed to be, you'll actually start to enjoy the walk there. I hope you take this message to heart and start living your life head down, horns up. If you got something out of this, please like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, keep living your life head down, horns up, salute.